The whiskey burned smooth as I sipped from a heavy glass, watching the celebration unfold around me. A wedding reception buzzed with energy, white tablecloths, artificial laughter, and carefully disguised regrets hidden beneath layers of designer fashion. In the center of it all stood my ex-wife, laughing a bit too loudly, performing for the benefit of her circle of perfectly polished friends. That's when she noticed me. She hadn't invited me. Her new husband had, unaware of who I was or what I meant to her past. He'd listed me as his plus one, not knowing he'd just stepped into a storm. Her expression tightened the second she saw me. "You came?" she asked, eyes narrowing. Her tone carried an edge of contempt. "Didn't expect low-level staff to make it into events like this." Her words sliced through the air like razors, prompting a round of chuckles from her table. I didn't react. Her husband, still clueless and friendly, turned toward me with a curious grin. "Wait, what is it you do again?" I met his eyes. Just one breath. One word. Audit. The room didn't just quiet, it stopped. Frozen like someone had sucked the oxygen out. She blinked twice, lips parting slightly before she shut them tight. Her friends stiffened, their laughter dying in their throats. It had started. 5 years earlier, she married me. Said it was for love. I believed her. We were the typical story. Young lovers, ambitious, building something together. I stayed late at work, she hosted dinners. I passed on promotions just to spend more evenings with her. Meanwhile, she was spending those nights texting someone else. "You've gone soft," she hissed during one of our arguments. "This desk job crap. Where's the drive? Where's the ambition?" I let that slide. I told myself she was just upset. Then came the texts. Not just from one man, one of my closest friends, but from 2 others. Names I recognized. Faces I'd seen grinning in our wedding photos. She wrote things like, "He's so easy to control. He'll never know." And she was right. I didn't know. Not until one night, when I used her iPad to order Thai food and the messages popped up, synced to her account. I didn't confront her. Not right away. Instead, I collected. Quietly. Strategically. I shared her bed for another 3 months. Kissed her forehead every morning. Packed her vitamins before she went to work. Then every night, I studied more, recorded screens, backed up files, followed GPS logs. I tracked hotel visits, noted rideshare receipts, captured screenshots of calendar entries labeled as yoga sessions but leading elsewhere. I paid a private investigator in crypto for added detail. I started auditing her life with the same precision I used for major corporations. Silent, thorough, indisputable. She thought I was just some admin guy. What she didn't know. I worked in compliance, yes, but my specialty was forensic accounting. The kind that topples billion-dollar empires. The kind that builds federal indictments. The kind that leaves nothing standing. Tracing assets, dismantling shell corporations, following hidden money trails. That's what I did. That's what I do. And while I was doing all of that, I made sure to keep my own tracks invisible. When I filed for divorce, she laughed. Literally laughed in my face, eyes smudged with mascara, tipsy off cheap wine. "About time," she slurred. "You finally grew a pair." But the laughter didn't last. Not when the division of assets was finalized. Because by that time, I'd already shifted everything. The condo, acquired through a shell company she'd never even heard of. The investment portfolio, gifted to my sister years prior. Completely off limits. The car, registered through my firm. She walked away with a couch and a few decorative pillows. She tried to contest it. Her attorney quit within a month, overwhelmed by what I'd put in place. Turns out, she'd signed multiple post-nuptial agreements, unknowingly, buried in mortgage refinance documents I drafted and walked her through. Each "I agree" signature became another chain locking her out. She told her friends I'd ruined her, claimed I'd used her. They didn't know the truth. Not yet. Years went by. She remarried. I kept my silence, but I didn't stay idle. Her new husband, a rising tech founder, recently landed a government contract. That meant compliance screenings. One minor hiccup: they needed a federal certified forensic auditor. Guess who got the assignment? I didn't say a word, didn't disclose anything, just showed up for the vetting meeting 3 weeks before their wedding. I wore the same tie she'd once gifted me. He shook my hand, impressed by my credentials. Her name didn't even come up until tonight. "Wait, Audit," he echoed, puzzled. His wife's hand trembled, her fork clinking against her plate. "I thought you were in admin," her friend asked, confused. "I am," I replied calmly. "For federal investigations. Financial crimes, fraud, hidden assets, marital deception, that sort of thing." I let the silence speak, let it stretch until the realization sank in. Her new husband slowly turned toward her. "Wait, you two knew each other?" She looked away. "We were married," she admitted. Gasps erupted around the table, like spectators watching a slow-motion disaster. I took another sip from my glass. "There's a term for what she did," I said gently. "Gaslighting. Financial betrayal. Deceit that sometimes crosses legal lines. Occasionally, even criminal." Her eyes locked onto mine, wide with panic. "You wouldn't." "I didn't," I replied evenly. "I let it go." Then I smiled. "But I did flag some accounts linked to your new business. Potential conflict of interest. They're under review next month. Might be wise to separate finances soon." His face drained of color. She leaned toward me, voice barely a whisper. "Why are you doing this?" I leaned in, my tone low and even. "Remember when you called me a pawn?" I asked. "You laughed and said pawns are disposable. Thing is, if they make it to the other side of the board." I stood up. "They become queens." I turned to the table, composed. "I should head out. Got early meetings. Systems to review. Lives to audit." And just like that, I walked away. That night, I sat alone on my balcony, city lights flickering far below. I didn't feel triumphant. Not exactly. Revenge isn't sweet. It's clean. Like slicing away infection with a sharp knife. She never really saw me for who I was. Thought I was harmless. Ordinary. But I don't fight loud. I dismantle. Quietly. And when I'm done, there's nothing left to bury.